This podcast is a production of Unfiltered Studios. If you would like to know more about joining Unfiltered Studios, please visit our website at unfpod.com for more information.
Perfection. A scorched outpost in the middle of nowhere.
You know how close I am to leaving this place right now? How close?
Maybe that's why Val and Earl decided to leave town.
Hey, hold up. That's Edgar Deems.
They just picked the wrong day to do it.
Jeez. You guys better get the hell out of here. There's a killer on the loose. Who could be doing it?
Is that a snake?
I'll give you boys $5 for this. 20. That's how they get you. They're under the ground.
What the hell are those things? How could they eat a whole station wagon?
But where do they come from?
I vote for outer space. No way these are local boys.
You see, they're headed right for us.
No Richter scale can measure it.
They're coming!
No scientist can explain it.
Bert, they're under the ground.
You didn't get penetration even with the elephant gun.
Run, run!
And no one knows what to call it.
Megaworms or suckers or suckoids. Now, this valley is just one long smorgasbord.
Now, it's up to Val and Earl to save the world.
That's one big mother.
Who died and made you Einstein?
And they know just what to do. Flip for it.
Damn.
Kevin Bacon, Fred Ward, Tremors.
Alrighty. So glad Tremors Saga on Twitter was able to join me. And you're looking at not only just me, but the moderator, Levi Dylan Burzlaff-Luett.
And it's Cam Sully. Am I right? Am I reading that right?
Yeah.
It's not Kaam Sully. You know, I'm just about making sure.
Scully for next father. No. Oh, and thank you for just linking me to your work and everything. And I had no idea about this whole thing with the Tremors fan base becoming toxic. And
ooh, I mean, it's been a thing since like a couple years before 2016.
It's like Sam Raimi and Joe Dante, like the only horror comedy fan base where people can just shut up and enjoy it. You know, it seems like so many other people will just attack something, see something that there's not in it, and
Tremors is particularly maligned because of Burt Gummer. Like the character Burt Gummer.
Right, he's an anarchist kind of, and
he's a hero to the alt-right, even though when you actually examine the character himself, he's very much not that. Like,
and you guys did some good citing in that article, because even though, you know, Michael Gross is a Hollywood Republican, he's a pretty chill guy. You know, he's more of a Robert Duvall.
Oh no, he's a Democrat. Oh no, he would be more centrist. Michael Gross is very much like,
well, I just mean in that he's voted that way, so whatever thing he's on.
Oh yeah,
yeah, he's definitely not, you know, Trump City, you know, and those are the, you know, truth be told, we only give a shit about people's politics when they turn into nasty, awful, you know, individuals.
Right?
So
I really don't care about anyone's politics unless you're an asshole. I just saw a video yesterday of like, remember when like politicians used to be like cordial to each other? Like Mitt Romney would be like, hey, Obama, you're not bad. Or John McCain would be like, Obama's not a bad guy. And like, they'd all do it back and forth.
They'd have
like,
a beer and play golf. And now it's so bad. We're getting people who don't want to even share the same front lawn or baseball park with each other. Yeah. It's like, so
everybody has to be an enemy immediately. Like you must die and like be destroyed. And I'm like,
well, and I get it.
So tiring. It's so tiring.
I get that it's going to keep getting radicalized, but it is kind of funny how the Bert character was basically supposed to kind of validate that as well as be what you look for in a hero.
See, that's where no. If you really watch like the Bert character, it's not about validating that lifestyle because he is satire. Even from the first movie with Reba, that character is meant to be like you're supposed to kind of laugh at him. Like he's a joke.
Yeah, he's absolutely ridiculous.
They play the joke serious, and it's honestly.
So maybe that's the big misinterpretation because I was always like he's doing really good, but way better than the script. You know, like because I think that's the other thing too. Like these are deliberately absurd movies.
Yeah,
they are.
They're giant worms that turn into heat-seeking velociraptors that turn into fire-farting pterodactyls. And then goes back around again. It's going to be weird.
It is wild, too, how, Kevin Bacon was always in just about everything in the 90s. And so it is kind of funny hearing him reminisce about how he didn't really want to be associated with it until he finally warmed up to it. But I think that's a cool timeline, just looking at how
he had a rough time while filming the movie. His mother was sick and his wife, Kira Cedric, was pregnant with their first kid, who actually had his birthday today. It's
Susie. Wow.
It's Travis.
The younger one. Okay, nice.
The older, actually their first kid. It was their first kid. And so, and literally, that scene where the store owner, Walter Chang gets eaten, like the graboid comes out of the shop floor and eats Walter Chang, and they're doing that. That was the day that Kevin Bacon's baby was born. Like he's on the cooler, and they get a call, and it's like, "Yep, Kira's going into labor," and he just like takes off and goes. So he had a hard time with it, and I don't blame him for that. And it's good to see him come back around to it in the end.
What was a lot of the trivia kind of stemmed from like a director's commentary or something, or?
Honestly, a lot of your trivia will come from this book right here, Seeking Perfection, The Official Guide to Tremors by Jonathan Melville. John is a Scottish guy. I've had him on the show a couple of times. It's a nice book. And this came out in 2015, and it's about 300 pages of Tremors goodness. But then me and another guy, a Spanish guy, Octavio Lopez San Juan, we made this book, Cazador de Graboides, La Historia de la Saga Temblores. And it's fucking thick. Like, look at the thickness difference like on that one. It's 666 pages with color photos and everything. But it is all in Spanish, so I know everything, but I'm like, I need to translate this fucker. There's some pictures of Michael Gross, like taking a little bathy there. Cover 4.
That's great.
A lot of the trivia be from that, or there's a Stampede Entertainment website, which is the original creators of Tremors, and they have a frequently asked questions part of their site, where even today you could go like right now and ask the creators of Tremors a question, and in like a couple of weeks they'll answer it and put it up on the site. So that's where a lot of the trivia comes from too.
That's nice. Well, and so then that makes me wonder where they're getting the trivia from, because but don't get me wrong, like obscure stuff like this is honestly easier to find. Like, I know the director, Ron Underwood's been on a few different podcasts and recents, and he's just seems like a very decent guy who, was active. And then when he had a few misfires, then he pretty much was regulated to just TV guest directing, which is a shame because.
Yeah, Pluto Nash killed him, but he really likes TV directing. Like he's come to like that.
Yeah, no, I'm not villain. I'm a huge TV guy, and I never understand why people like to talk shit about, acting like TV is, it's not worth it. I'm like, well.
We all watch it, man, and it's an important part of our cultural landscape. So, like, shitting on TV, it just never makes sense to me.
Well, then you get people who are like, only if it's on HBO. I'm like, there's plenty of theatrical stuff that blew people's minds.
I was listening to... because I was going through your show and I was listening. You had an episode on Only Murders in the Building in Abbott Elementary, and you guys were jumping around on different.
We meant to separate that
TV show, but it's like that's honestly, I love both of those shows. Like those are legitimately great TV shows. Only Murders in the Building, especially like that play with that narrative. They're not going to do what a movie does, but they have their own fun with it too. So like I don't know.
Well,
it's all how you tell the story. Yeah.
Oh, that's exactly it. Like not only how you tell it, but like also just like what reason are you given for people to come back? So like that's why I
Yeah.
said, as long as it's more than just a typical sitcom, I will stick with it. And now if you're just if it feels made up on the fly or reliant on the actor to carry it, then that's a big turnoff for me. I'm like, well, see,
Writing is so important. I'm an improviser and I love improvising.
I love
And
it too.
I know the power and importance of writing. Like you guys were talking about how like having that A plot, B plot, but then that C plot that just like it sits back there and you don't even like you kind of forget about it and you don't notice it and it's like bobbing its head. And then boom, that's how you end the episode. It's like, fucking
the elephant in the room killed us all. But no, thank you. That means a lot because like I see other people who are like, we've all unfortunately met snobs who are like, if they win awards, it's nothing. It's like you're so wrong. And then we get people who are like, if it's anything, later than like 75, I don't watch. I'm like, okay, well then you're really missing out on innovation. Not only
I hate
just
everything you just said. Like,
it's amazing how many typical crowds. Now I'm getting people who are like, I won't watch it unless it's on Blu-ray, 4K, or streaming.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, okay, good luck, because we're talking about something that's always going to be only on DVD. It's just
I see people do that all the time where they're like, oh, you got that on DVD? Oh man, that's weak. You got to have the 4K Blu-ray. That's like, bro, some of us don't give a shit, and we're just happy to like watch it on whatever format. We grew up in the VHS era. We're happy to take what we can.
If vinyl and VHS keep making a comeback, what do you think is really happening?
Yeah.
And
I was gonna say, I got right here. I got Tremors on VHS. Fuck yeah!
There you go, man.
I haven't watched it, but I bought it on eBay for like $5 or whatever. But
that's awesome.
Like, fuck yeah, man! Like, why not?
Get it. And it is just amazing to me how there's arguments that aren't even worthy of being an argument. It's just like, really? We're going to do this right now? I thought the whole point was to find a common ground or have a fun conversation. But like, I'm even seeing this on when I even start some of these chats, I will sometimes people say, I couldn't talk about it for more than an hour. I'm like, all I need is 20 minutes of your time. And we're going to get some comedy gold. And then I get other times where it's like, well, what I really mean is I don't want to talk about something I don't like. I'm like, well, it actually would be way more interesting than you think. Because then I could validate why you think this franchise is overrated versus you like it, but you don't love it like other people. And
go ahead. Sorry. I love differing opinions for that reason. Like I'm only one person. So like, that's where like I do this show a lot by myself up here because it's hard to get guests. But every time I get one, and sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, I don't want to like say this to like offend you." I'm like, "Motherfucker, offend me! I want to be offended. Like, give me your Tremors hot take. Like, give it to me. I do not care. Please and thank you."
It's weird. This one was I was a Gremlins guy growing up. I had a love-hate relationship with Evil Dead. I love it now. And
Army of Darkness is the best one. That's my favorite.
You are correct. That is
the best one. It's the best one.
Lord of the Rings, guys. That's all we had. But it's interesting too. Like that, this was to me was kind of like Chucky, where I would see parts of it. I didn't warm up to it, but I kind of got it. But yet, I always came in at it at like the wrong time or time to be watching it. Kind of like. And I didn't think they were bad. I just thought they were like a perfect example of making a mainstream kind of lowbrow fun concept on a bigger budget, if that makes sense. So like they were doing kind of what Charles Band was doing with Full Moon, but unless you had
very Tremors is very tongue in cheek. Like people associate it like as that horror thing or whatever, but its roots lie in not necessarily making fun of, but satirizing and parodying that 1950s monster movie. I actually just watched Jaws yesterday because it's the 50th anniversary, and it's so interesting to see how much of the DNA of Jaws kind of translates to Tremors a little bit. Not even it's Jaws on land or whatever, because it's not. There's a difference there, but it's the tone of the movie, like you play it straight, and there's comedy and stuff, but the comedy can never be at the expense of the people. Like the people must be real, or it's bullshit. Like you gotta play it straight for it to be. Or it's gotta
just be well paced. I think the worst thing anyone can do is just still be stuck in the 70s where we got to spend so much on an expensive credit sequence. It's like, no.
Yeah.
This is going to be, I've had to politely tell people this with kung fu movies. No, that's not going to hold up on rewatch.
Get in, get out, do its job, and you're good.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it might be great with people, and if we all convince each other to drink or be begged, but that's taking effort. Like I need this thing to speak for itself, and it is so funny. I did marathon these a while back, and
probably in COVID times. That's usually when everybody marathons.
It was actually
was it
pre-COVID, but I would come around and even rewatch a few of them, especially the most recent ones. So, just as a backdrop, I'm assuming.
I was gonna say, I want to know your everybody knows my fucking entrance to Tremors. Like, what is your experience of Tremors and entrance to it? Like,
I had family friends who, even though they were, into all kinds of other stuff, this one was one of those. Is like, yeah, I saw that. I couldn't tell you what it was about, so I didn't have any. And I was always the personal seek it out myself kind of guy, because my sister didn't give a shit unless people started talking and started giving Marvel Ted Lasso level of popularity. My brother is a sports guy, so he is a very get in, get out, give me.
It's got to be cool. If it's not cool, fuck you. I go watch something else.
It's got to have a lightsaber. And so I'm always the self seek it out kind of guy, and so I was always like, these are fine. They're just a very I just thought, the first one's kind of where it was at, where it's like, people would joke, this is more Dune than Dune, growing up for me. My God. And so it is.
They don't try to kill the worms in Dune. All right, I gotta set this record straight.
No, it's fine.
They actually try to get along with the worms in Dune. They don't try to kill.
I just think it's just sandworms. It was just better than the previous version that was out there in the 80s. So I mean, it is interesting how this was so mainstream for Universal, and this was kind of, it's so funny how the little girl ends up being
Lex from Jurassic Park, Ariana Richards,
right? The granddaughter. I just find it so funny how Spielberg's people see that, and Universal kind of just gets into the whole let's make our
an interesting relationship. Like Spielberg and the guys that made Tremors are actually longtime partners. Like they worked on Amazing Stories together, and Batteries Not Included. So it's interesting. Like the guys that made Tremors saw Jaws and then did this, but then Spielberg saw Tremors and was like, "Oh, I can make Jurassic Park." Like he
nice.
Seeing that tone, there was a very back and forth thing. So then it even happens with Tremors 2, where the Stampede guys
actually what you're talking about now.
They throw back to Jurassic Park again. So then it's this little they're always tossing.
So I saw that S.S. Wilson had worked on The Land Before Time as a story consultant, and he had worked with Ron Underwood on Hearts and Souls, which is a pretty beloved movie still. And then.
Bro, I got it on Blu-ray. Fucking love this movie.
It's a great film.
God damn.
So I see what you're saying about Batteries Not Included. So I guess my main entry into his work was watching the first Short Circuit.
Yes.
So
Johnny Five.
I always ask my mom. I read that multiple times, but
no disassemble.
No disassemble, Motorhead. Input. Johnny Five. So it's funny how, all these indirect connections, that kind of reminds me of Joe Dante gets hired by Spielberg because he did the best Jaws knockoff, which was Piranha, so.
You were talking about Ron Underwood on podcasts and stuff. I actually listened to one with Joe Dante and Ron Underwood. They actually know each other for this day. Seriously, I'll have to find it and send it to you, but it was a really good, what the hell are these two guys doing together? But they
that's great.
They were talking about Gremlins 1 and 2. I was like, wow, this is fucking awesome.
The movies that made me. Okay, shoot.
Probably.
All right, sweet.
It was about 3 or 4 years ago, I think. Yeah.
Hey, that's anything recent is good and right for
me. Well, and that's I just that 80s spirit. I would say it's that Spielbergian tone. We all kind of know what that is, that sense of adventure. And while he did it perfectly, he fucking Steven Spielberg for a reason, seeing other people take that mantle like Joe Dante or the Stampede Entertainment people and being like, well, let's throw our little version on it. And it's still going to this day. I would even state that James Gunn owes a little bit of his influence to Spielberg in that way, that trying to that heart and humor, that humanity. I always go back to that as a word. Like it's just such a you got to feel it, man.
I'm with you because I don't know. It's just we keep coming across people who like to pretend it's, you know, like you can't like this unless it gets, you know, an award nom of some kind, and you know, it's just bullshit. Like, and then like you're saying, it is funny how we're talking about the script. Is like no one really knows what to do with a script until the storyboards come out and you get your shot list, you know, and so it is annoying seeing, you know, people say, you know, like I'm always in. Can I do anything with it of any kind? You know, like maybe I got to change the tone, but it can work. You know, and you got to have. Don't get me wrong, you got to be in a reading mood, but like then there's other people who just like I didn't think it was very good. It's like, well, elaborate. Like there's a reason.
I was gonna say, tell me why. Yeah, right. Yeah. Like there's something that stuck with you that pissed you off, or you didn't like. Explore that. Tell me what that is, and let's go through that.
Totally. It's just like people have to just stop being afraid and just use their words.
It's sorry. There's another episode I was listening to. God damn it! I just lost that thought. It just like went there, and I just fucking lost it. But it's. I think back to that Roger Ebert school of like trying to review a movie, where don't ever don't judge a movie by what you want, because did you make the movie? You didn't make the movie. What is the movie trying to do and set out to do, and did it accomplish that? If
Absolutely.
It did, that's a good movie. Oh, I know what it was, because you were talking about it with Oreo or somebody like that.
I love Oreo. You should totally have Oreo on your show.
Yeah, he was interesting. That like making a movie is like an army. Yes. Like it's not a circus; it's an army of people, and it's everybody working together. That's where you're talking about the script and like storyboard. You know, you have all of that, but you need the people and blood and sweat and tears on the day, and the back and forth of it, and how everybody has to feel and input. It's a collaborative process, and if you don't have that, you got that's usually your sign of a shittier movie. I love a movie that, like, man, if it's a shitty movie, but you can tell everybody was having a blast while making it, man, that's fucking sign me up all day, baby. I'm A-okay with that.
That's kind of what I got from that. It was just, but I'm glad we made an impression on you, and I'm glad you mentioned Roger Ebert, because everybody is so busy doing clickbait articles, movies he really hated, and it's like movies he gave 5 stars to. I'm like, yeah, those do not lend either take to a deep conversation, which is why people like us liked reading it. Like he would say so many great, I think it was his review of the first Speed movie where he was like, a movie that is so good that you can just take away the plot holes like they don't exist. You know, it's like, that's a good point.
Oh yeah. And there's a lot in Speed, but I don't care. I don't give a shit, because it's just the joy in the cup that you drink. It's really good.
Absolutely. And there's been plenty of movies where that is kind of ingrained in my blood. Is like, as long as I am not nitpicking it after the show, that's a pretty good movie, versus I have to make an effort to turn my brain off because no one could pick a lane and stay in it.
Yeah. There's only 2 movies that I've ever like turned off because I was like, I just can't do this. One was Bram Stoker's Dracula, the Francis Ford Coppola one. I got like 20 minutes, and it wasn't that it was a bad movie. I was like, I know that this is just not my vibe. So you know what? I'm not going to do it. The other one was the Dark Tower movie. And it was one of those where it's like, you know what? Everybody says that this sucks. Let's watch it. God, I don't even think 15 minutes. And I was like, oh shit, everybody was right.
That was a perfect example of
I was like,
all this B-roll footage. And I'm like, this movie is not going to measure up to even that. You know, if you got stock footage to find a tone, you're in trouble. Yeah.
That's 2. But that's only 2. Otherwise, I can find merit in most movies, even the slockiest of like I don't care. Like there's got to be some love to it. Somebody somewhere gave enough of a shit to like make that movie. So me sitting there for an hour and a half is not like, what is that out of my day and my time to experience that?
Well, that's the other thing too. Like the movie can be over the top, but you have to really be having fun with some. Everything has to be at least watchable to me. It can't be to the point where I'm like, I do not want to continue.
Yeah, for me, that's the Fast and Furious movies. Like, look, I know it's not a good but I fucking love them. I know that they're trash. I know that they're garbage. I don't care, because for the however long I'm watching it, I'm like, car go fast. Yeah, family, fucking yeah. Every time, I just don't care.
Hey, that's the other thing too. Sometimes, I mean, and this is why we do all these movie franchises. I thought one thing no one's doing is trying to validate everybody. It's like, instead of, yeah, I love this, but why does no one else like this? Or people do go back into the overdone, sorry man, it's just not for me, instead of, why is it not for you? And so I'm just
why?
like,
explore that. That's where, even on my show, so Tremors 5, 6, and 7, the most recent ones, were made by a different crew of people. Actually, by this one director, Don Michael Paul. He did 5, 6, and 7.
I like him.
When I first started the show, it used to be like, man, I want these movies to be good, but they're not. So like, okay, this is why, this is why, this is why, this is why. And then I actually met Don like in person at Tremors Fest, and he was giving people shit for like shitting on him. He's like, I don't use social media anymore because so many people like were mean to me about making those movies that I just gave up on it. And I talked to him afterwards, and I was like, yeah, I got a Tremors podcast, Don. And he's like, oh, so you're one of those people? I was like, yeah, but you didn't know that. Like, look, I wasn't around when those movies were being made, so I wasn't doing. But I was like, you know what? Like, meeting him, talking to him, and he truly tried his best. Like, he had his hands tied behind his back, zero money, and all the expectation in the world, and he tried his best. So now, after I met him, like a couple weeks later, I did an episode called Don Michael Paul Ain't Half Bad, which was like, okay, here's my retraction. Here's why I was wrong. It's this and this and this. But then also being like, okay, here's why I was wrong, but this is also where I was right. And as much as I love you, Don, I still have to be like, that's still like somebody wasn't thinking. And it's really, when it comes to Tremors, it's usually like lore stuff, like world breaking stuff. Like there's a very well thought out world built up from Tremors 1 through 2, 3, 4, and the TV show. Very well thought out. And then 5, 6, and 7 happen. And obviously, because you're trading reigns, or on it, it's not even that. Stampede got it, stripped from them. But they're not around to do it. It's only Michael Gross, so he's doing his best. You don't have that lore book, all those rules or whatever. So obviously they're going to get broken and they're going to get messed up. So that's usually my thing now. Where I'm like, okay, look, I love you, Don, but like this totally broke the rule. Graboids don't like rain. You can't have them going around in rain. It's a whole thing. Like they don't like sound, like that kind of sound. So they can't run around in a rainstorm, but just noted, Don, noted for the future.
Didn't J. Michael Straczynski also write or supervise some of the show? I'm trying to remember.
No. Although that's the Babylon 5 guy, right?
Yeah, I swear.
No. You know what? I think he might have had a hand in the TV show.
That's what I'm saying. Like the show.
He's because I've seen him like interviews with him talking about Tremors before. Like it's really weird. Like,
it's
like, what the hell are you doing here?
Well, and Richard Biggs, Dr. Franklin, was even on an episode. So
yes, he was. I was just going to say that.
And yeah, no, I remember seeing the ads for when that first premiered. Is like coming soon, and so yeah, it is interesting how AMC and Sci-Fi Channel would do marathons of the first 5 movies, and it is interesting how we bring up Don Michael Powell because like he's another constantly working B movie guy who basically he's always doing
Sniper 2, Jarhead. He did 2 Scorpion Kings movies. Lake Placid Final Chapter. Like he's a guy that you bring in on sequels. Like that is his bread and butter.
Sony and Universal use him, and then he does. It's interesting when he does standalone, like made for streaming or Lifetime movies. It's
if you've never watched it, Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man is one of his movies from the 80s or 90s. Fucking, that is a trip of a movie. I fucking love it. It's so weird and it's such a vibe, but I'm like, I don't care. I kind of low-key love this. Is great. I don't know what this is, but I like it.
I think Crazy is his middle name. He just had to keep doing those kinds of different movies, and it's interesting.
It is.
How
he's fun. He's a fun guy. He's a wild dude. He's really.
That's what I find
weird.
funny is he still acts once in a while though too. And I'm like,
Yeah.
interesting. Like he'll just show up, and it's like he's not trying to pull a Hitchcock or anything. Like he's just, if someone needs his help, he's gonna just show up.
It was only recently that I realized he like ADR'd a line in Tremors 6. Like this one guy, this Mountie guy comes up or whatever, and he's talking, and I just thought it was the actor, but then I was like legitimately listening, and I'm like, hold on. And I would play it back. I'm like, is that Don? Hold on, play it back. That's fucking Don. And I sent it to him. I was like, Don, is this you? And he's like, yeah, that's me. It's like, I just fucking I wasn't paying attention.
Movie, man. Yeah.
And it did. It worked.
Well, what is the convention often like for Tremor stuff? I've seen Podcasting After Dark and $2 late fee like moderate some of the stuff, but like recent. But like, how would you describe the crowd? Like, are they wanting more of the kind of crowd that wants people to like say the quote, say the line, or are they more just listening to the funny stories, kind of like it's a Star Trek or X-Files con kind of?
Tremors fans are fun. Like
okay.
we are like
good.
Befitting our weird little fucking movie series. We're very fun. We can't stop quoting it. Like it is, we are all autistic to like the nth degree. Like it's real, like to the point where I'm like, guys, we gotta like, look, they know that we're gonna know these lines. We need to stop. Like we got to be a little better about this. But otherwise, like listening to their stories, I've actually organized the last 3 Tremors, actually last 4 with the Pasadena one, with Zach and Corey from Podcasting After Dark. And
sweet. They're great
and
guys.
Really oh my God, I love them so much. They're going to have Don on. Actually, they're going to have Don. Actually, I think they have him on this week, actually. So
perfect. We come out Halloween, so anyway, we're just thinking ahead, guys. But
yeah.
No, that's great. It looked like they were getting some good one-on-one chats with them, and they're just so good at just kind of throwing people inside the box and supportive.
Well, that was. And I have to apologize, and I would apologize to them if I met them again. But at the Pasadena Con where they were moderating the panel, I had brought like 16 people. Like I know all of these Tremors people, and I was like, "Hey, we're doing this thing. It's in LA. Like, let's all go." And I brought like 16 fucking people, and they were like, "Oh my God, we did not realize this many people were going to show up." I was like, "Yeah, well, you should listen to me when I say I'm going to do it." But they did it like Zach and Corey did a really great job of giving 16 people over an hour all their own due time. Like they let
very patient. And
they gave everybody space to express themselves and talk and tell their stories, and I was so impressed by what they did.
Well,
like
they hate what we hate. They hate what all of us hate, which is just people being full of themselves or
cynicism. It's the cynicism. It's so pervasive in our media landscape.
Yeah,
and I want to blame people like whether or not you're like a critical drinker is one that I always think of. Where it's like I used to kind of like it, but like. It's so cynical, and I'm like, man, like there's no like, really, does everything have to be about the message and the woke agenda and all this? Like, bro, like sometimes a movie is just a movie, and there are themes and there's morals like to take to that. But you don't. It's not designed to like fuck with you. Like that whole idea of like we've got to make movies to like we're like Hollywood is making movies to fuck with the masses. It's like. No, they're making movies to make money, and right now the masses like the outrage and that kind of thing. So of course they're going to play to that. Like Hollywood is built off of marketing. Like that is their biggest fucking thing, and all they are doing right now is following that money. That doesn't mean there's a concerted effort to like Matrix style blue pill everybody
anything
into
we
being
can take
like
out of context.
Super gay and fucking everything. Like it's not. Come. It just makes me sad as someone that just like likes to enjoy movies, and like you can watch a movie and not like it. And here, this is a brand new concept for a lot of people. You can watch a movie, not like it. Guess what? You never have to watch it again. Nobody's fucking making you.
And then there's also just guess what? Like, well, what are you trying to say? Are you going to threaten violence if I don't agree with you? And so that's the other thing too. Like. I see people trying to even just act like only certain kinds of fans are bad. It's like, trust me, it's all kinds of fandom. There are all kinds of bastards out there. So when I saw like some Marvel guys kicking the shit out of someone who had spoiled like the 3rd or 4th movie for people, I'm like, okay, he was wrong, but guess what? That's also wrong.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it goes both ways. Like that's where you read that article
Don't
about
shoot
what
the
I had to deal.
messenger. Yeah.
What I had to deal with the Facebook group, where it's like, man, the bigotry is bad, but the gatekeeping I find is even worse sometimes. Like that's where I really pride myself on what I try to do with like all of anything Tremors, is that like, hey, look, I don't give a shit if you know anything about it at all. Do you have some kind of joy or attachment to it? Welcome, you're a Tremors fan. You're a Tremors fan. I put no
You get to be a Tremors fan. And
it's like there's no limit on it. Like, and people will be like, Levi, you're like the ultimate #1 Tremors fan. And I'm like, please, I would have just don't ever call me that. Like, I am a Tremors fan. I am one of many.
Well, it also gets
whether
annoying.
I know more or not doesn't mean I'm like the best. Like, we're all pretty great. Like,
and the bullshit like, saying you must not be much of a fan. Like, I was on a Reddit the other day and just noticing, hey, I find these elves in Lord of the Rings to be similar to the stubborn Vulcans and Romulans in Star Trek. And lo and behold, one's
I see that.
But for like every like 2 comments paying attention or peacefully agreeing, disagreeing, there's a bunch of people saying, no, nothing in common. I'm like, you're just being proud of the thing. That's not the intent. We're not talking about this is better than that, blah, blah, blah. Like, but you can compare just about anything to something.
Yeah.
And
don't tie it into your identity so much. And that's me as someone that like has a Tremors podcast and everything. Like tying it into your identity is really dangerous. I look at it as that political thing. Like that's kind of where like America in particular has a really
my sister and I have had that conversation on all the anti-hero characters. People want to assume that like Ash Williams or Elliot Stabler
or Burt Gummer,
everybody on Sons of Anarchy is like them. I'm like, no, that's the whole point. They're not like you.
And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Like,
even the actors who play all these beloved or hated characters say, I try not to be like that person I'm being, So it is interesting having to tell people is like, listen to yourselves.
It's the Fight Club problem where you're looking at the people that look at Tyler Durden, they're like, that guy's cool. And it's like, you have missed the entire point of that movie. And I hate you so much right now. Like
Joel Schumacher said it back in the day. I own all the directors, which is a wonderful Stars documentary show from back in the day. And he talked about is like, there's only one ending to Falling Down. The guy's bad. He thinks he's right. And everybody just loves to take stuff, like to say Matrix Pill is like, tell me you didn't actually watch the movie, without telling me. And
people that like Rick from Rick and Morty. Like, and I love that show. That's a great show, but it's like, bro, if you are looking at Rick and Morty and you're going like, I want to be like Rick or I'm like Rick, then you need to step away from the TV and have a conversation with yourself because that is not a good thing.
I try not to let fan bases destroy my love of something, but that was an example of where I'm like, the fans are insufferable. I'm just going to stop watching this in protest.
I still love it too. Like I said, Dan's a longtime friend of mine. I'll always be there for him.
Oh, nice.
But
you did mention that you've got to meet him and he gave you some good advice. So it is interesting.
I was on Harmontown a couple of times actually. So
sweet.
Old Harmontown. Yeah.
Hey, no, congrats. That's a great podcast. But it is
that's where I get my podcast from.
Well, but these celeb friends we're fortunate to have, like they stand out from the other pairs because they're people first versus I'm put, versus I see you in person, but I don't know if I'm going to get the, the dressed up version of you, for Hollywood Reporter, or am I going to get the legit, let's have a deep talk, and
I actually have that, I'm trying to do it different this year. So at the last couple of Tremors Fest, it's been, you can bring whatever you want and, they'll sign anything. Like people will like Michael Gross and Finn Carter and Ron and everybody will sign anything. But it got to a point last year where like people were like legit taking advantage of it. Like there's these guys that made these comics that were like dropping a stack of comics in front of them and being like, sign this. And like, okay, clearly this is not going somewhere.
That's
so I had to make
too. I've had to do this with even other podcasts. People get annoyed, but every podcast will have some person trolling. Why do you give a trigger warning? I'm like, because at the end of the day, there will always be someone who needs it spelled out.
Yeah.
What was it? That great, really good Zoe Kravitz satirical horror mystery movie.
Is that Bodies? Or
no. It's on that one.
Is that the one with Chris Hemsworth? What am I thinking of?
Channing Tatum.
Shit.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Thank you. That's what. Yes.
Really good. And
I like how you got that from Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, and no, it's all good.
Channing Tatum, Chris Hemsworth,
but blink twice, and it was originally known as Pussy Island. But it's just so funny how I had a professor friend who was telling me, yeah, I saw that when I told him I had seen him. He's like, I didn't know why they needed the trigger warning. You would have thought. I'm like, I understand what you're saying, but almost without fail, even the smartest people on the planet, they just don't look at the rating. Yeah. And I've had to do this sometimes because I would be watching something and my mother has an active imagination, or I had other people get way too just stuck up about and nitpicky about stuff. And I had to just flat out say, okay, I looked at the content. It's not even IMDb. Like, I had an idea of what kind of movie I was in for, but we're all adults here. I'm not forcing you to stay here. So yeah, it is interesting how I have had to have a few deep conversations like, hey, I know you don't mean ill will, but you really wrecking my enjoyment of this movie. I am courteous enough to watch some of this by myself because I know you're going to take this out of context, or just, again, it's going to disturb you even though there's nothing on screen. So if I'm not forcing you to stay here, but I've also been giving you kind of enough time to, tap out, so it is interesting how we all have to sometimes say, hey guys,
I have that with the Hellraiser movies where it's like, I know full well exactly what that is.
There's no way to make a PG version of this.
I'm just like,
you gotta watch this.
I'm gonna step away. I'm good. I know this isn't my cup of tea, but I also don't have to shit on it because it's not. It's like those are really well made movies from what I understand.
Oh, they're good, but I didn't like them growing up. I came around to them later on. There's a lot of stuff.
That's my personal thing. Where it's like you got to separate that shit. Where it's like, hey, that's you. That's your own thing. So deal with that in your own time. Don't put that shit on other people. I think that's rude.
Tremors. You kind of come into it or you don't, but it's a respectful kind of what you're in for comedy franchise. And it is kind of funny how there are a lot of franchises I have decided I'm going to give this time. To get into because or not, I'm not going to make time for it, but it is interesting how some stuff just lights up our world and other stuff is like, actually, I don't know.
I wrote this down because I really liked what you said. You will give a movie 6 shots before you write it off. I do. And I was like, you know what? I think that's about my number too. I will watch a movie that I don't like, or I think I don't like, because it's like,
and I'm counting.
I'm with that with the Matrix sequels. I'm on 5 or 6, and I'm like, you know what? I don't think I hate these. I just think you got to take some time. But I'm on 5 or 6.
That's why I just did, and I'm just like, it's like some movies. Sometimes, if you know what the ending is, you might even give it more time. It's kind of like a joke. If the punchline's so funny, I'll deal with the build-up. That's not my cup of tea. It's just interesting how, but again, it kind of, I'm just equating it to how you really, really like something. I'm kind of going with that same kind of flair. It's just just to make sure this is bad versus this is fine for what it is, but I don't care for it. And so I do like Bad Movies is a good podcast that mentions objective versus subjective. And
it's bad versus just me not liking something.
Yes.
You really it's that separation of is this really bad or do I just not like it?
It's good, but I don't enjoy watching it, or it's a one-time watch because it's so depressing. Yeah.
Like I said, that was me with Bram Stoker's Dracula, where it's I understand that this is a good movie. Gary Oldman's he was doing great or whatever, but I'm like, this is just not my thing. You know what?
Oh, and have you ever seen yourself in home movies?
Oh my God, I make movies and I hate it. Oh my God, I hate it.
Well,
I hate it. I make Tremors movies and I hate editing myself. Anytime I don't have to be in a fucking movie is great because I hate it so much. That's actually, so I got a poster for one back here and a poster for another, and then that's our Shrieker head too over here. And then we've got a graboid tentacle here, and there's a pantyhose. I got a little baby graboid up there too. So yes, it's really hard. I just don't. I feel bad for anybody that makes a movie and somebody just shits on it because it's that's so much effort. Fucking don't be a dick, dude. Just get your ass out there and make a movie, and then we can shit on it, all of us. And then fuck you. Like that's always my big one. Like, what have you made? What the fuck have you made? Like, can I shit on it, please and thank you? I know I made the Room version of Tremors. I don't need to hear your shit. I know what I did. What did you do, motherfucker?
Yeah. Oh, and that's interesting too. How is this like we have to kind of become aware of our surroundings. Like I will just remember what I did. And it's like, man, I hated 2003 version of Cam because I was savvy. You know, I don't want to be.
You should always not, I guess not always, but like looking back on yourself and being like, I did not like that version of me is a very, very healthy thing.
I'm a robot, reprogram my brain.
Yeah. Boop, boop, boop. That was me with the Don Michael Paul thing, where like, at least for the first 45 episodes of my show, I would just like, it wasn't so much shitting on him. I always thought those movies were a tax script from Universal and that there was some drug money or something.
He's just doing his job, but
he's just, but then I met him and I was like, you know what? That version of Levi, they're gone. That's dead. That's gone. There's a new one, and this one likes Don Michael Paul and is trying to do something different. Always be going back and like, is that good enough? That's where when it came to your show, I actually listened to the first episode. I was like, okay, what's the first episode? What's the first episode like? And then go immediately to the end and listen to the last episode to hear the difference, to be like, oh, okay, that's the and I do that for anybody's podcast where I'm like, I'll listen to that. Honestly, it's usually I like to listen to the last episode first and then go back to the first one and then go from there if I'm binging somebody, just to be like, oh, okay, so that's how we get to there. Yeah, because we should all be dying constantly. Our skin's always dying, so like, why not like die yourself and like be a new person? I don't know, it's not that bad.
Well, you gotta be open to all the kinds of stuff, like, but while also setting your ground rules, like, and it didn't happen overnight. And I think that's just it. People are just afraid of constantly experimenting, for lack of a better word.
Sincerity is almost like so taboo these days. It's I try my best to be sincere.
Why do you think everyone lashes out at being woke? Oh, you're being human. I'm like, because I can't have makeup on every day and pretend like everything's fine. It just doesn't happen.
Right? I'm so sorry that the world is shit. That's my bad. I didn't mean to like draw attention to it.
I'm sorry. I'm angry.
My bad that America's built on stolen land in the backs of like slavery.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
No kidding.
Excuse me. Let me get my time machine and fix that one.
Yeah.
I'll go grab the doctor and, we'll go back in time and fix all of that shit. How about
ignore
that?
your relatives. It's like, no, because I don't want to repeat history here.
We're already doing it. Nazis are bad. Look, this is a public service announcement. Nazis are bad, people. If you didn't know, Nazis are
being truth in words is not getting political. Anyway.
Right? I just saw someone earlier on the Facebook group being like, oh, you were calling me names, and the person before had said, you are the least absolutely self-aware person on the planet. And I was reading it and I'm like, that's not name calling. Like, is that name calling? Like, usually name calling is like the least absolutely self-aware person.
Yeah,
it's like, that's not
most
is
offensive.
That really
Pointing out your stupidity, that doesn't fall under that. And I don't know. Fight
usually
your battle
my
where you can
insults have to be like dicks and shits and cunts and fuckers and like that's
no kidding.
Listen, you turd gobbler. That's
turd
like
gobbler.
An insult. That's
what's your favorite Tremors like one-liner that you've seen used in public?
Ooh. Oh, and like a bad one. See, I always think of good ones. Shit. Great. Who died and made you Einstein?
There you go. Who made you Einstein? And see, that's ironic in itself. What's wrong with Einstein? But yeah, it is funny. So,
pardon my French.
I think that's why. I think that is why people have warmed up to it. Is they have all these insecure characters. It's Hick City, and they're all kind of just in a backwards. They are
the smartest Hicks. They are the smartest Hicks I've seen until Tucker and Dale. Well, that's fair.
Some of them. If
they were all smart, then that would defeat the purpose of actually storytelling. But they really are. Like, that's where Tremors the series has this character who's a NASCAR driver. He's like the lead in the show, Tyler Reed, and might be like one of my favorite pairings with Burt Gummer because he's a total hick, but also pretty sure probably the wokest guy in that town. Like total fucking hick all the way over on the left side of the thing. You're like, that is such an interesting combo. I fucking love it. I don't know what that is, but I love it. Bring it on, I just say.
I think Bring It On's, I think, the good thing. It is kind of interesting how I think the reason I'm fine with this franchise is it's just a very mainstream B movie thing, but also they, unlike most franchises that were just going to keep ongoing, like it wasn't, I'm glad you brought up the characters are also self-aware as well as most of the fans. It isn't like other franchises where it's just, that we, for lack of a better comparison, Children of the Corn is mute, deaf, no vision. So that, you can only find it amusing unintentionally versus
if you're I was gonna say if you're smoking weed or getting drunk or something, then it's fun. I have that with the Lake Placid movies where I really like there's a
and same kind of thing, making fun of the inhabitants of the town before we get to all the creatures that disturb it. It's just
like I really want to love those movies, but man, those sequels you can like. The actors are doing a fine job, but you're like, man, this story is just letting you guys down, and I feel really bad. Like there should be some commit. Like if you're gonna be stupid, commit to it. I say that's always like, and that's where Tremors excels. And you can watch all 7 of the movies with the TV show, and in essence, the tone won't change. The tone and what they're trying to do is very like it is like they knew what they had, and they're like, we're gonna keep doing this. We're gonna keep doing this. We know what this is. Fuck yeah. And they set a template and a blueprint, and everybody afterwards has been working off of that. And then
it's pretty hard to goof up, and I think it is interesting how it is kind of, for me, it was kind of Universal's answer to like Charles Band's Full Moon stuff, especially Transfers and Puppet Master.
I don't know what that is. What is that? Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was Tim Thomerson's Evil Dead, and Puppet Master was basically Chucky on steroids. But it was funny how Tremors and Chucky are kind of their babies. Is like, okay, we'll let some people return. Obviously, Michael Gross will always be in each of them, much like the Child's Play creator will be on each of them. And don't get me wrong, you did mention clear points on how there was some dumb stuff happening at Universal behind the scenes, but at least the overall intent was pretty clear.
The people behind the camera were trying. Like, that's where I got to point out that thing with Don Michael Paul. Like, everybody that made 5, 6, and 7, like the actors, the people on set, the effects people, everybody was trying their hardest to make a good movie. Like, nobody was, like, trying to phone it in. It was an everybody experience. And that's where, whatever the studio is doing, and they are assholes, that is terrible. Those people that are like, they're going to bat for that movie and actually physically doing it, I will also go to bat for them every time. Like, people will be like, oh, I don't like, we need to get rid of 5, 6, and 7. I'm like, look, I don't know if we need to get rid of them. We don't maybe need to like acknowledge them full bore, but like erasing them is very much like, come on, that's
those when toxicity happens. Like, I don't tell people what Star Wars to ignore or what season of Game of Thrones.
They're all bad. Star Wars sucks.
Sorry. That's my hot take.
I think it's interesting how Star Wars, I think, kind of ruined cinema, because then people want everything to be big. It's almost like everything has to be a Penn and Teller magic show instead of, can we just see the guy who does the impressions or who just does the real life, PG friendly stories. It is interesting having to tell. It's like everything has to be a certain way now. And like, we're getting that now, where now everyone wants a controversial A24 movie or a superhero thing that will divide.
I was just going to say Marvel did it too. Like, Marvel made, and now everybody wants that. They want the MCU thing. And it's like, no.
Look at the South Park parody of The Simpsons. They're not only dissing Family Guy, but the reason it's a brilliant episode is, the name alone. The Simpsons did it first. So it's making fun of derivative. It's a whole parallel. It's a whole contrast and metaphor for joke stealing.
And they're poking, like, it's always punch up, never punch down. Like, or punch yourself. You can punch yourself or punch up, but like punching down. And that's what I love South Park.
And that says a lot for people who they, in their heart, they don't like it, but they're not telling you have to hate it or like it. They're just using it to make their overall. They're putting it into their material, which is all I ask for anything. And I think Tremors was good at just like let's have all these nutty guys, and there's always going to be bigger, worms, shriekers, everyone at installment.
See, actually, hold on. I got to stop you. So that's actually with Stampede Entertainment. This is where I love the genius behind it. So when they first asked them to make a Tremors 2,
straight to TV for Universal.
No. It was actually going to be a theatrical release.
Oh, okay.
It originally had like Kevin Bacon and Reba McEntire coming back. And it's really very much the same script, but with those two in it. When they actually left, they condensed and they moved parts around or whatever. But it's still about 75% of the same script. But their first, like, people were like, Universal was wanting them to kind of like, well, make a bigger graboid, make a queen graboid. And Steve was like, no, like, well, that's like our whole point here is kind of like playing on the tropes. Why would we just like do the trope that everybody's expecting? And so he went, he's like, hold on. Instead of like they get bigger, what if they get smaller and there's more of them? And it's like, God damn it, Steve, that's a $10 billion idea. I fucking love it. But I love it. Like,
it's a reverse Godzilla.
Like, yeah, like that's their like, you know what? We don't do that.
Bigger isn't better.
Exactly. And I have to say this is a really controversial take. I like the Shriekers more than I like Graboids a lot of the time. Like, they are terrifying to me. They're cute and terrifying. And I just love their concept of like, there can be so many of them that they're swarming. They will eat their own dead to like throw up more. And then they swarm and get fucking more of them. And I'm like, oh my God, that is horrifying. Like, I get Graboids are cool. That's a great concept. Totally. But man, Shriekers is a real knock it out of the park on the first fucking go one there. Like, ass blasters, we can have a debate about.
I think that's the other amusing thing. It's just like,
we'll return after these messages.
If you like small town mystery, crazy news, and wild history, then the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast is for you. Each week, Josh Mills and Wayne McCarty bring you the absolute best Florida has to offer. So if you're looking for a show that's safe for the family, but funny enough to help you escape everyday life, then listen to the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast. That's Florida Men, plural, on Florida Man podcast.
Hey, it's Brent Pope, the host of Breakfast with Brent Pope. You've seen me on some of your favorite TV shows saying things like, give it up, Jimmy, you gotta sink this putt to win. On Breakfast with Brent Pope, I sit down with guests from the entertainment world, and we do it all over breakfast. Or should I say Brentfast? Every week on Brentfast, you get inside Hollywood info and tips, great breakfast recs and booty debates. Most of all, you get the most delightful 30 minutes of your week. So dig in, it's Brentfast time. Listen at Brentfast.com, Apple Podcasts, or wherever fine podcasts are found.
All these absurd names, but they know what they're making. So, I mean, that's why I just gave it a pass. I'm like, more franchises where people try something different. Everyone wants to just be a killjoy and be like, I don't like that design. I'm just like, where is it in the whole scope of things? That's all I care about ultimately.
There's only one like part of like the Tremors 5, 6, and 7 that I really like. I can't ever get off of this horse. Is the ass blaster design. Like, if you look at the Graboid Shriekers and ass blasters in all the movies, they have that beak, that very singular, like that 4-part mandible beak. It's very like, you see that and it's like a xenomorph head where you're like, oh, that's from Tremors. I know what that, whether or not you know what the monster is, you know what that is. With the ass blaster, they changed it where they took out the beak and they made it this flying giant butthole vagina with teeth on it. And I'm always like, oh my God, Don, I love you. That was a terrible idea. It was a terrible idea. Why'd you do that? And they even upgrade the Shrieker and the Graboid in the 5, 6, and 7, and they keep the jaw on the Graboid and the Shrieker, but the ass blaster is the one that they're like, no, we need to throw that fucking idea that's been working great for us for fucking 25 years out the window. God damn it.
Well, now I gotta ask you.
You were this close.
Hey, so you've spoken a few times before on what your favorite one is. Is it still the original?
Oh, no.
No.
You know what? You know what's funny? The original is like 4th on my list of favorites. I'm not even joking. All right, so legit, my favorite piece of like Tremors media is Tremors the series, like the TV show, 13
sweet.
episodes. It is amazing, but most people don't know that. So I like
what
to
do you
say
think
that,
season 2 or 3 would have looked like?
Actually, there's plans for it. So they would have had more monsters. The girl in it, Rosalita, was going to be revealed to be like lying to everybody, and she didn't actually. She wasn't related to Miguel. Nancy and Bert were going to get together. Like they were gonna. It was funny how they Bert was like dating online. Like he was like AOLing online and meeting up with somebody, and it was going to be Nancy. So that would have been fun. They would have done more stuff with the lab and Proudfoot.
Isn't it
but
funny
I
how they had to steal away Doc Brown?
Man, he's great in that too. Like, run! There's a monster on the loose. What is wrong with you people? But I have to say, my favorite movie is Tremors 4. Like, legitimately.
Okay, so
Tremors
I'm not the
4.
only bastard on here. So I had the most fun with that. Like, I was always like reminding myself, oh yeah, they made more Tremors. And then being how I am a huge B-movie guy, like, I'm like, I do need to complete my Billy Drago rotation.
Fuck yes! Yes!
Mr. Untouchables, Frank Nidia.
God, he kills in that movie.
Briscoe County Jr. He's always been Mr. Made-for-TV, direct-to-video B-movie guy who should have been bigger, but just you could only put him as a creep in every movie, so he was limited, but still lots of credits. So I just was like, yep, I like how this is doing a prequel, but it's
awesome
being very... Well, it's just nutty. I love how it's an outlaw crew, and so for a while, people love shitting on it, but people must have come around on it, because it used to be like a 3 or 4 out of 10 on IMDb. Now it's at a very reasonable 5 out of 10. I'm like, that's more
probably
reasonable.
From all my yelling, because I am telling people all the time that it's the best one, and I have numbers and facts.
It's just so stupid too how people will act like a franchise is lesser now that it's straight to DVD, and it's like I'm always like, screw the marketing, screw however the studio values it. Is it entertaining in some capacity? That's all I give a shit about. And we guess what? If an Indiana Jones movie had gone straight to video, I would have still seen it, because I'm caring about whether the project is worth a shit or not, or if it's just generic, forgettable.
I've rewatched Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Is it the best movie? No, but you know what? I have a good time while watching it. I'm gonna be honest. That's my.
I liked it growing up before I grew weary, but hey, it's funny. It would be boring if a franchise was perfect, like flawless.
It goes back to what we were talking about at the beginning with like TV shows, where like people look down at like, oh, it's on TV, it must not be good. It's like, bro, we live in the age of streaming. Everything is on a fucking TV. Well, nobody goes to as much as I love the theater, nobody goes anymore. So like that point is out the fucking window.
And these were kind of like the Ernest movies, or even even just insert any other comedy franchise that went straight to video. Universal had their share of stuff like American Pie. Guess what? People were going to seek that out because name recognition, some returning cast members, big reasonable budget behind it, still looked cinematic like it would have been in theaters or on TV. So that's just it. Like, we only hate direct to video when it is just like ugly,
when it's easy to hate. What I love to point out,
no one tried. It's got to be that.
Aladdin 3, The Prince of Thieves, is way better than that movie has any fucking right to be. Like, that is very much a direct-to-video movie. Where, like, that's how it's marketed, but it's fucking good. That is a goddamn good movie.
That's a good example.
Return of Jafar is whatever, but that one, Aladdin 3, The Prince of Thieves, is like, fuck yeah, man.
It's funny how cartoons were like the only ones people weren't picking on. They're like, oh, it's a cartoon. No one asked, hey, was it straight to TV or video? It's like, well, so-and-so is returning as the voice. That's good enough for me. So it is funny how people are selective about what they lash out at.
Michael Gross is back for this one. I guess I'll watch it.
I guess I'm going to fucking watch it.
And really, I've learned with Tremors 4, the reason a lot of people don't like it is because, there's no Burt Gummer in it. Like, he's not Burt Gummer in it. So that means it's bad. And I'm like, so the reason you don't like it is that the actor who's been playing the same character for 15 years got to do something different and expand the role a little bit more. And also at the same time, that his acting, like Michael Gross's acting in Tremors 4, is his best acting in all of the movies and TV shows. Like Hiram Gummer, like that Philadelphia accent, and I feel I was not privy to critical, most needful information. Like, that guy's a great actor. Have you ever watched Family Ties?
Loved
like
it growing up.
Oh my God.
So it was so funny. Most people, when they think Michael J. Fox, they just go straight to when he first became a movie star. But
Alex P. Keaton, baby.
I was raised
man.
on Family Ties. I would watch that while I was homeschooled, and I was just a So then I see him on Suits, which, fun fact, Sarah Rafferty was on. And she's
Casey
on
Matthews,
there.
Dr. Casey Matthews.
The Suits, Tremors Cinematic Universe, both Universal projects. But he's on Suits for a good 4 recurring episodes. And I'm like, he will always be one of the best TV dads ever. And he will also, again, I think it was fun seeing him stay relevant, in between TV guest spots and Broadway and voiceovers, and seeing him be this Ash Williams type character. I mean, I kind of look at it just like with Phantasm. Like, there's room for everybody to do their own kind of us against the world, us against all the unseen evils of the world. Again, it can't always be Scully and Mulder every fucking time. So it's just, I mean, it's interesting too. Like, you'll love this. I have family members who love Supernatural, but they're not necessarily fantasy or horror people. So it is funny how people make exceptions to everything. And Tremors is kind of just in that crosshairs of, you want something nutty. So I think it gets more play and has a bigger fan base just because it is comedy first, kind of. It is a creature feature. Don't get me wrong. I don't think anything goes in one genre.
It is comedy. Like, I wouldn't say first. See, that's where it's 50-50.
Hey?
It's very much like a 50-50, because they talk about, like, the writers, Steve Wilson and Brent Maddock, talk about, like, getting that comedy right. Like, they had a couple of drafts where, like, the comedy went too broad. And they're like,
I bet.
We got to pull it back, because otherwise you lose the actual.
I'm sure there's bloopers that are funny but don't work for the movie, So it is.
Yeah.
That's why I admire, like, Michael Gross is being so likable, even though he's playing the kind of guy I would not really want to have anything to do with unless he was saving my ass.
And he'll even admit that, like, the character of Burt Gummer, not funny at all. Like, he's not a guy that has a sense of humor or anything like that. He doesn't crack jokes. But what makes him funny is when you put him around normal people, like legitimately normal people, and then he has to respond to them. They have to respond to him, and you're like, you play it straight, and it works. It's very,
I'm glad you brought that up.
Writing.
I think this is where people have become dumb, and just watching movies and shows they love while forgetting why they think they're good. It's just like, does the person have to have, free heads just to make him funny? No, he doesn't.
No.
For instance, Worf and Spock are funny on Star Trek because they are oblivious to how unintentionally stubborn and arrogant and sometimes moronic they can come off across because they don't understand humans. So it's just funny how people, same thing with satire. It is dumb how we have to add zombies to something just for people to get it. It's just like, really? I have to.
We're the zombies, man. Don't you understand?
Yeah. Did you not listen to They Live? Or are you going to misinterpret that one too? Good God. Did you not see Brian using a society? We're a Twilight Zone episode. We're an X-rated Twilight Zone. So it is funny. So you're going to hate me for this.
Oh, it's going to be hard for me to hate you. I think you'll be fine.
Okay.
Go for it.
No, I just mean in general. Like, I didn't mind Bloodlines. I just thought
it's actually my wife's favorite. Like, it's my wife Caitlin's favorite.
Let me guess.
She really loves that one.
Let me guess. She's a Jamie Kennedy fan.
We talk that, like, it's not about us being fans. He does really good in the Tremors movies. Like,
he was
Tremors
acceptable. I'm usually not a fan, but he was at least laid back here. Dare I say, like an Enemy of the State, or shall we say Scream 2 mode? Like, he was just.
To me, I always think that, like, that Michael Gross kind of like, hey, okay, look, come here, Jamie.
I dug the South Africa.
This is what acting is. All right, we're gonna act. I don't know if you know what acting is, but we're gonna try this. All right, Jamie, I'm gonna act. You're gonna act. We're gonna do good at this.
Well, and I'm sure Michael Gross and the director were like, hey, regardless of who fucking joins, we're gonna make this work. There is no so and so doesn't get it or not getting along. It's a long. Well, maybe it's not a long shoot, but it's going to be a quick one, and we better enjoy every minute of it.
You're going to be with people for a month. I love, in Tremors 6, there's the suit up scene where, like, Travis is suiting up in all of Bert's shit.
All
he's putting the glasses on, and it's fucking like, it's FLB, TMZ, HRJLMNP, and if you got graboids, you got, and he's trying to be Bert, and I'm like, you know what, Jamie? I really appreciate the effort here. Like this is really
but that
good.
was also
like
a fun mockery of the whole famous like suit up scene that every 80s.
Oh, the Commando one. It's very much a Commando ripoff.
Absolutely.
Like, and I have to say, like, in terms of Jamie Kennedy, I like him in Tremors to where he's not in Tremors 7, and I'm always like,
yeah.
You know, I would accept the ending to Tremors 7, like where Bert dies, and if he had like pushed Travis out of the way. Like if that's what had happened instead of John Heder, I would definitely be a bit more like, oh, okay, that's the writing, the father and the son, the passing of the torch. Oh, okay, I buy that. But because he's not in it, it's like, okay, I'm very upset with you, movie. Like, what are you doing? What is the? Explain yourself. What is the? And I always say I wish that John Heder had just been recast as Travis. Like, I feel like that should have pulled a Marvel Don Cheadle, Terrence Howard thing and been like,
that's a good
point. I'm Travis. Like, I'm here. Whatever. Like, get
both
over
movies
it. Like,
went so fast, I totally forgot they were related. But yeah, I couldn't get A Cold Day in Hell was kind of a what the hell for me. But then when they went to Sugar Island, I was like, I like this a little better. But yeah, that ending, you're gonna kill him off. Why? Like,
right?
Can you at least have some amusing, like, after the initial credits where he emerges, chainsaw in hand?
They actually did. So they actually filmed it. And I've talked to Don about him giving me this, and he hasn't yet. But like, there is an ending where he like comes up off the cliff and he's like, "You think I would be dead? Like, I'm Burt Gummer, motherfuckers." And then like you chastises them.
Well, and so do you like the creature action more, or do you like the
I like in all of them, or like overall, or just that movie? Because I was going to say,
just in general. Like, so what elements do you take away from the most? Like, for me, I was just a B movie monster guy, so I just embraced it as a campy comedy thing. So, but do you prefer just the making fun of horror movies or the adventure aspect? Well, what did you?
None of those. This is a really interesting. This is a really interesting one.
We like unpredictable.
I like the family arguments. There's two moments in particular. In Tremors 1, when they're on the rocks near the end, and like Burt Gummer and Val McKee start arguing with each other, and he's like, "Look, we had food, water. You can't fight them like that. So you two screw-ups, haul us way the hell out here. Hey, we could have left your worthless ass on the roof. I wish you had, fearlessly." And they're like, "They're just fine. Don't put me, Bert. Don't put." Like, all of these monsters are happening. Their lives are literally on the line. And all of these two guys are just fucking sniping at each other because they have their own history. You can tell that very small town vibe where these guys have been doing this for a really long time, and it doesn't matter. They're still butting heads. And then they do it again in Tremors 2, where like when Bert's lying in the skid loader thing, and he's like, as I lie here, I can't help but come. And then they all like, "Knock it off, Bert. Nobody made you come." Like, and they're just like arguing back and forth. And I'm like, so that, like, this very like family thing, like in terms of all the monsters, like what
he does have a good line in the final one. "Destiny's a bitch," but
yeah, oh my god, yeah.
But I know what you mean. So you prefer a lot of just the back and forth dialogue.
Yeah, that's the humanity of it. Like that's because I can get monsters anywhere or anything like that. But that
is true. There are some franchises where no one cares what happens as long as the character's right. So this is kind of what you would say is
to have a moment of like we're all very vulnerable and we're all bad people, or not bad people, but we have our problems and shit, and it doesn't matter that we're about to be eaten alive. You still want to fucking argue about something from like last week or whatever, and you're holding all of that. It's fascinating
I know.
to me.
I know from experience.
It's really like
all have a friend who we have to pretty much just say, do I need to, give you some weed? Do I need to give you a massage? Bro, what's going on here? Why are you still talking about
that? Todd, you just look, you're too drunk. We need to walk away from this right now. This is not, I understand you want a different way. It's not
about winning. Well, then why are we still talking?
Why are we fighting? But no, that
it doesn't matter. Do you hear yourself? Jeez.
That's where the theme of Tremors always seems to me community. So that's where people like to focus on the comedy or the monsters. To me, it's about family. Like that's what I love. Fast and Furious.
So it is Fast and Furious. I see what you did there, Universal.
Salute the familia. But no, it's like I said, the family aspect of it. Like And it even goes back to that we were talking about Spielberg. Like you can watch Jaws, and that's still very much like a family movie.
The
like
characters are great in it. Like,
I love that that last half of the movie where it's Quint, Hooper, and Brody, and there's and actually, when Quint has that, and it's not just Quint's like speech about the Indianapolis. It's actually the bits leading up to it where they're like, oh yeah, that's what that is, and then that's Mary Lou Retton. Broke my heart. And the way that they're like actually sharing each other's lives like a family and enjoy.
They don't really know each other, and it worked even though the actors were getting on each other's nerves. It's that kind of...
You feel that in the moment, and then when you get to that hit with the Indianapolis speech, it all builds. And then I was just talking about this yesterday. I think my favorite part of Jaws is actually right after that, where they do the show me the way to go home. I'm tired. Because it's all three of them know the song.
Yes.
And so they all like
it's the only common ground.
Yes, and they like start joining in with each other, and it's really beautiful. And then that's what makes the shark attack. It was like that was the most Tremors-y moment of that movie. Like them singing that song. It's very like I don't know. That's my. It's such an odd answer. That's not what you're probably.
It's not a bad answer though. It's a. I mean, it would be all boring if we had the same stock answer, wouldn't it? So I mean,
right.
That's kind of cool.
And I'm not saying it's the right answer either. That's just my like 5 years of like trying to research it sort of answer. Like this is what I think it is.
I wish I had your answer. I just was like, yeah, the comedy, but you got a better answer. Just the characters are well characterized. They are amusing.
It's a different answer. To your point, the comedy in this movie is top rate in all of them. There is never a line that's not like someone trying to make some kind of joke or some kind of quote that just lasts forever. And then the creatures themselves are always top notch.
Yes.
Like even 5, 6, and 7, I still love them. I love the bigger shrieker and how the graboid twists like as a physical thing. And it's even the ass blasters, like that concept of like they shoot fire out of their ass, but they're also gliding like a flying squirrel, like physically, and it makes it, and they're carrying the egg to go forward. It's also thought out that I just can't help but be like, bravo.
You win.
I can't do it, so you did, Bray. You're doing better than I am. Way to go.
Well, it is interesting how it's also just you don't really know what to expect until you're in the thick of it. So,
right? That's just life itself, man. Like that's very like I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. I know what I did today, but I have no idea what tomorrow.
How we're going to get here and what's going to happen next. Yeah, I embrace the unknown.
Right? Well, I'll be dead soon, so just like fucking enjoy.
Well, we were just getting warmed up.
I was gonna say, don't be yawning. Don't be yawning on me.
All right.
I'm sweating my ass off like Anne Frank in the attic. So that's. I need to stop. Look, I have made that joke so many times. I need to stop making.
No, keep making it. It's awesome.
Well, I gotta ask. Well, you threw it to me. What do you like? Why do you like Tremors? Like what draws you to it?
I think it's another side. Ron Underwood is definitely doing his take on the Sam Raimi, Joe Dante formula. Find the most bizarre people you normally wouldn't want to hang out with and have them save the world in a comedic fashion. But it is interesting how, kind of like the original Lake Placid, it was for me is like, okay, yeah, it's a monster movie with all kinds of weird attitudes and bizarre backdrop. It's not just any place.
Fucking Brendan Gleeson being a sheriff in Maine with a fucking Irish accent.
No kidding. It's just like, what? Okay.
I just accept it. Like Betty White always like great like.
This is not Fargo where we're gonna get the accents right. It's just whatever, man. You know.
Fuck it,
man.
Yeah. I've watched Highlanders. Look, Sean Connery broke that ground for all. With that and The Hunt for Red October, like nobody cares.
I can't justify the Red October, but I can always assume, well, aside from the fact he can't do accents, he was traveling around and he adapted
the Highlander one's a little better than the Red October.
I mean, it's a fantasy movie. It's not trying to be an actual reality versus Red October is much like K-19. I have to give a reason for, or Valkyrie, where I have to give a reason why Tom Cruise and Harrison Ford stopped speaking German or Russian respectively. You know, it's like, okay, well, that happened.
Oh shit.
And yeah, I mean, it gets even more complicated when you realize every movie has been dubbed in another language for other countries. It's like, I'm sure they make the same jokes we make, where it's like, so-and-so is not who they claim to be. Especially when they're dubbed by another actor who can actually do the accent. So,
I was just seeing a bunch of people comment on a video with Reba being in Tremors, and they're like, oh my God, Reba, I had no idea she was in Tremors.
There's a lot of people who never realized. I knew she was in it, but I would always, I guess because Kevin Bacon owned it so hard, he was like, we knew who Michael Gross was for the TV watchers, but even though it's his most mainstream movie, I think because Bacon just had a good rapport from that point on since the late 80s of just being in all these crowd pleasers and unusual concepts, he was definitely one of the main, he picks good projects, which is why we want to check it out.
Between Kevin and Reba, they're still the stars. But people were talking about not knowing Reba was in it, and then
Reba's
someone was like, "Oh,
she's just a nice person."
I think the reason I didn't know Reba was in it because I watched it dubbed. Like they were like, "Oh, I didn't realize that was her because I've been watching the dubbed version. The English isn't my regular version, so I didn't hear Reba's regular voice." And I was like, "Oh shit! I bet that's a lot of people. Like I think that might just be a." Fucking, you don't realize the little things like language does for like hearing a person's voice over and over again.
There was a bunch of great music podcasts on how she became known. And it's so funny. Some people just only knew her as the folk country pop singer. And then for me, growing up in the 2000s, it was kind of,
Reba, the TV show. I was going to say, Reba, the sitcom.
I knew she did music, but I didn't.
Works too hard to let us kid. God damn, I fucking love it. With Barbara Jean and everybody. I fucking love that show.
Yeah, it's a good show. It is funny how it's just, I don't know. Everybody has a reason for what they know about a character or a person. And it's just like, well, it's not all the same journey. We didn't all get here looking for the same, Google search engine results,
Like for me, like as much as I've watched Tremors, Kevin Bacon will always be the guy from Footloose to me.
That's
like,
fair.
I fucking love Footloose. That was my first introduction to Kevin Bacon. So whenever I see him in Tremors, I'm like, it's the guy from Footloose. And even though it's like, no, it's the guy from Tremors, Levi. What are you talking about? It's like, no, it's the Footloose guy. What? I did this.
That's funny. That's a good point too. There might be other people who knew him only from Friday the 13th or Hulliman, or they might know him just from Apollo 13 and More Respectable Fare, or just, he's married to theater and TV star Carter Sutherland. Yeah, it is funny.
Fred Ward and Joe Dirt. I watched Tremors 1 and 2 before I saw Joe Dirt, but for me, it's like, that's Joe Dirt's dad. That's Joe. It's like, no,
there you
Levi,
go.
What is wrong with you?
The Fred Ward cinematic universe.
I can see Joe Dirt in a Tremors movie. I would buy that.
It would make sense. Yeah. Same kind of approach.
Cast David Spade too, and I'm okay with that. Just do it. We've already had Jamie Kennedy. We can't.
He made a direct video sequel. What's stopping him? He'll do it.
Fuck it, man. I don't think David Spade cares.
He doesn't care.
It's all buddy.
He'll have fun. Yeah. Well, and so I think it's overall pretty solid, pretty fun, and again, like, I'm just waiting for them to do another thing. And I'm glad you did point it out, because I just kept seeing people say, oh, there's another thing. And I'm like, I knew there was a TV pod for sci-fi that didn't get picked up, but it is amazing how, I'm having to do this too, where I'll share a funny meme and then I have to research the meme. I'm like, the celebrity never said that. That's just someone else doing AI or putting it on there. And it's like, for clicks.
It is such a problem.
We're having to double check the joke. Yeah.
Right.
Sucks.
Yeah. Like we've reached that point where it's like, no, oh my God. And people are so, I think it makes me sad because people, we all want to like believe, that's like,
we all do. Yeah.
We all want Santa to be real. We all want,
what does Bert believe other than not paying his taxes?
Bert believes just whatever he wants and just stay away from him. That's it. Like Bert believes that if you're over there and he's over here and he's happy, he doesn't care.
Right.
But I think that's where there's so many, and it makes me sad because I have to actively like work against it. I see people share those AI images and summaries, and they have like thousands of shares and reacts. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm sitting over here with like legitimate information and all of this stuff and things that you wouldn't normally see that maybe get like
let's
one or
predict
two.
a movie before it comes out. I'm like, what would be the fun of that? When is that ever fun? When is that? And guess what? You didn't work on it.
And why do you want to predict a movie before it happens? Like that's where I've come to watch trailers less and less and less.
I don't do trailers anymore. They suck. They're not the movie.
You said that thing about predicting a movie before it happens, and now
they were doing it with Indiana Jones, and they were doing it with all kinds of other stuff. I'm like, just are you gonna go there or not? And it's not a contest. Like, there's plenty of stuff I want to see, but it's not going to be in theaters. It's just not. I'm in no rush. And then there's other stuff. It's like, I got to enjoy the spectacle of this. And then so I make sure to see every John Wick movie in the theater. But like, then there are other stuff. It's like, I can wait on that. I want to see that, but I'm strapped for cash right now.
I go for big spectacle movies. Like that's always my.
I can wait for
what's the biggest one. And that's where I really liked your asking me that question. Like, what is you were expecting me to go comedy or monsters, and I went family. And it's like,
people like to.
Who knows what it is? Like,
I turn a podcast off if it gets too predictable. If it goes into it's all bullshit from down here, guys. I'm like, well, that doesn't have to be true. You can like the most infamous installment and have a reason. So,
yeah. Some of my favorite movie podcasts are where they're like, man, this was a terrible movie, but we had a lot of fun watching it. And it's such because they're getting the joy out of it. We're like, whether or not this movie was good, we had fun, and this is our opinion, and you can see different points to it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, enjoy life. Isn't that hard?
Enjoy life.
We only get one. I'd rather not spend it hating things arbitrarily.
Oh, Lord. Something, man.
I don't know what I do. I love getting someone who is on the opposite side of the fence to me, not to change their opinion, but to be like, hey, we actually have things in common. Like, I don't need to change their opinion, but to let them know, you and I actually share.
Yeah, there's no bullshit
we
here.
Share
I'm not going to pretend to be your...
I'm not going to change your mind. I'm not your mom. I'm not your dad or anything like that. What I can do, though, is be like, hey, we share some fundamental thing. We're gonna maybe disagree on a couple of other things. These fundamental, everyday, living our lives in peace, liberty, and happiness are, we can... That shit we share.
It's pretty good considering one person's carrying the whole franchise, but it didn't happen that way overnight. Like, it started with freaking Fred Ward and the tertiary supporting guy.
Love
Can you
Fred
think
Ward.
Of any other franchise that does that, where they just are like, screw it, the supporting guy gets the lead? I'm sure it's happened, but I just mean in general.
It was weird. So, like I said, I was watching Jaws, and we ended up watching 1, 2, and 3, and then it was too late, so we didn't watch 4. But it was interesting to me that Roy Schneider shows up for the second one, in a way. Obviously, Hooper's not there either, but I'm like, I kind of appreciate you coming back for it. It felt very Fred Ward in Tremors 2 in that way, where it adds a legitimacy to it. It's not often you see it, to answer your question.
No.
That's such a the only
so I think
other
that's
one.
What was cool about that is it might even if you want to say, the sausage was made by the same factory or made by committee, there was still a lot of people who knew what they wanted from day one.
Yeah, well, and that's where pretty much the whole team that made Tremors 1 came back for 2, 3, 4, and the TV show. Not so much the actors, but that's where the Michael Gross factor comes in. But the people behind the scenes is pretty much 75% of the same crew.
So kind of like Chucky, they're like,
with Don Mancini, very much so.
We do want the guy who originated it. We don't necessarily want the same movie, but this is as good as it's going to get.
I don't think. Well, that's where someone like Don, Mancini, he also doesn't want the same movie. There's no real artist or writer or director or storyteller of any kind that goes you know what I want to do? I want to do the same thing I already did once. That's where I have to go to bat for Don Michael Paul. He actually said that. He's like, I did not want to offer the same plate of food to Tremors fans 3 times in a row. I wanted to give you something different to eat each time. And it's thank you. You did. You know what? You did that. whether or not, people like it. You definitely did. You gave us steak and then shrimp and then some kind of like Thai noodles or something. But you know what? None of them were the same. And I appreciate that, sir. Thank you very much. And I have to say, Lake Placid. Sorry, I was thinking of one with like reoccurring characters. Lake Placid and Yancey Butler.
She's amazing. Love that chick.
Who plays this? She plays a very Burt Gummer-esque character whose name is Reba. Like I can't get over that. But she shows up in like 3 or 4 of those, and I have to say, every time I'm like, you know what, ma'am? You are like carrying this movie, and I really appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Thank you. This is good. I like this. But otherwise, you don't see main actors. For Michael Gross to have come back for 6 direct-to-video sequels and a TV show, and I must say this, he still wants to come back for the new sequel that we're making, like with Stampede Entertainment. Like, he's very much on the table, would love another shot. He didn't want Burt to die in Tremors 7. That was very much a Universal was like, no.
So that sounds like they sabotaged it. They didn't want to do it anymore. Kind of. That's what I'm getting.
No, it's very much that. Well, this is where, okay, so it is.
Well, it's inevitable. We're going to talk about this,
No, this is fair. Where like Michael says, he's like, I felt that like Universal was like done, and they didn't want to make any more Tremors movies, and I was like, well, hey, you know what? I'll do this, and I'll kind of at least go out on a high, but I really don't want to, as long as we keep it ambiguous. And no joke, the next year after they killed off Burt Gummer, Universal was already working on a remake and a reboot of Tremors. So him feeling like they didn't want to do more was just Universal fucking with him. So they literally fucked with the guy that carried their franchise for 30 years.
And amazing. Then they were like, treat your people.
Oh, we're going to treat the only reason we're still probably here talking about Tremors today is because Michael Gross kept it going. And like for them to be like, no, you know what? We're good. We're good with you.
Just coasting on what we don't want to do.
And while we don't want to do, like, that's what I hate about Universal. We don't want to do Tremors movies, but can you make us a new Tremors movie? That is like that. I wish that was an exaggeration, but that is legitimately how behind the scenes Universal like talks and acts, as they go like, well, we didn't make enough money on the last Tremors movie, so let's make another Tremors movie to make money off of. Like, and I know that sounded circular and insane. That is legitimately what they say, and I can't. I just want to blow my brains out sometimes. And like I said, they disrespected Michael after all that time, and it just. Like, why do that to anybody? And they did it to Stampede. Like, Stampede made 4 Tremors movies and a TV show, and they went like, yeah, you know what? We want you to make another Tremors movie. Actually, no, we don't. You kind of get to be in the background while we make one without you. It's like, what? We're the only fucking... How did you even get here without it? That's where... Okay. Let me finish this and then please talk, because I talk about this ad nauseum and it just like boils my blood. I have to explain that to Tremors fans sometimes, because like when you're watching,
I knew what they were making.
Yeah,
maybe, but
there's a line about them flying, like, oh shit, for all you know, they can fly, and people are like, oh, they knew that in the 3rd movie they were gonna have ass blasters that would fly, and I have to be like,
my God.
Actually, they had no idea that they were ever going to make a sequel. Like nobody was thinking sequels ever.
No one.
All they did was like retroactively be like, oh, hey, that's kind of funny. He said that. I guess we can make something that fly. That's all. It's retro. You're retconning. You're retroactively like writing backwards. And it's like, that's any smart writer does that. If you have as you go on, you would look at what came before, and you're like, oh, well, we did that thing. Let's tie that like forward. That doesn't mean at the time they were thinking, yeah, we're gonna have 8,000 sequels. Nobody in the history of anything has ever done that. Like,
that's the other problem too. Historians and even the talents involved like to rewrite stuff. So it's cool that a lot of these guys are just like,
no, we didn't. I actually just had one today. I actually texted Ron. I texted Ron Underwood, the director of this.
Hi, Ron.
Hey, Ron. Somebody on a Reddit thread was talking about like the alternate ending to Tremors, and they were like, oh, the one that we got, like, there's this idea that, like, the camera pans up to the sky because they're now free and stuff. But the one that we could have had is like, oh, the boys are like turning their backs on Bixby and like, but the camera's like looking at the mountains. But like, also maybe I'm just like reading too much into this or whatever. And I was like, okay, I'm actually going to take a screenshot of this. I'm going to send it to Ron because I love what you said. Whether or not it's real, I just love that. And I was like, click, hey, Ron,
click.
what do you think of this? And he's like, that's nice. I was like, I thought so. Like, whether or not it's like that you were thinking of it, that's awesome for fans to like still be reading that much into it. That's where the Stampede guys don't like, they may not like 5, 6, and 7, but they also don't like poo on Don Michael Paul. Like, it's like, hey, you know what?
He's
Clearly
a guy.
He tried to do what he could. And I've talked to them and they're like, Michael Gross has told us he's a really great guy and, all this or whatever. It's just, that's just a hard part of our chapter to like open up or whatever. But that doesn't mean you have to like, that's a bad guy. It's a dude playing
a dude disguised as I'm just kidding.
As another dude. And I've never seen it, but I really want to watch The Adventures of Pluto Nash so I could actually watch it and understand why it's a bad movie and then ask Ron.
It's a fascinating, infamous movie.
Like, why? Like, Ron, why do you think this movie flopped? Like, you're the director of this movie. Why do you think it's considered the worst movie of all time?
Serious? Was it because you were doing less Tremors and more whatever was going on with that? Yeah.
Like, not like the drama, but like, why do you think this movie did not work?
Tremors, I think, shoots for the stars and lands on some kind of planet. It's just kind of...
yeah. It's the planet that the graboids came from. That's my assumption. It's Tremors.
Do you think they will ever explore any of that, or are they just taking a break for now since a lot of the people involved seem to want to kind of
do you want to go here? Do you want to go here?
Let's go here.
Go here.
Are they going into space? Are they going into space?
Not okay, so the answer is not currently. However, it's always been tossed around as a like, why not sort of thing. Because it's why not? You went to the past, so like, why not go to space? Like, just it's all about it has to be a good story. Like anybody, even the Don Michael Paul ones, the Stampede ones, like it's got to be a good story. You got to have something.
Got to be something.
Something. As far as I know, like, and I was just talking to Steve about this on Saturday. That there is. Hey, Steve. I love you, buddy. That there is like genuine studio interest, not just Universal, but other studio interest in
Sony.
He's always so tight-lipped on it. He never tells me, and I don't think it's nothing.
They probably can't say.
It's listen. As the only person that they can actually tell that stuff to, even he still doesn't always tell me everything, and I'm like, that's fair. I'm not
doesn't want to burn his contacts. I get it.
We're not there yet. Really, and I say we're all looking at is smaller studio involvement. I was gonna say A24, but that's not like small enough. But like anybody,
I doubt it's Neon, but I could definitely see something like
okay, that's closer. That's
Lionsgate took over.
I was just gonna say, there we go. I was just gonna say that one.
Maybe Mill Creek or one of those other ones that just republish shit and make it available for other consumption.
Because right now, the thing that we're
Shout
dealing with,
Factory.
Ooh, hey, if they got money,
I'm into
it. No joke. So John Squires of Bloody Disgusting, the editor, like the chief editor of Bloody Disgusting.
I know him. He's awesome.
He reached out to me a couple months ago.
Sweet.
And he was like, hey, so I know like the Stampede guys are trying to make a movie.
Who are you working for? No,
yeah. Who does number 2 work for? He's like, hey, I know like Stampede's trying to make a movie. My production company did Terrifier 3. We've just did that recently. And I just saw a commercial with them like on it too. And I was like, oh my God, he wasn't lying about that. I didn't like I didn't actually look it up, but I was like, they did do that. Interesting. Like I didn't think I'd see Bloody Disgusting as a producer on something. I was like, that's funny. But he was like, hey, like, would they be willing to like work with us or whatever? And I was like, love to say yes, but right now it's very in-house. That's where I'm saying they're like trying to find a studio. It has to be something smaller and something that people know. There's two factors here they're so fascinating to me. First one is that Tremors is a movie that parents will show their kids. It is a generational movie of the joy. That's where I was talking about Kevin Smith. Like he was showing his daughters wanted to watch Tremors, and he's taking a video and sending it to me. That joy of passing it down the line, and he even said that to me. He was like, that's why he sent the video. He was like, thank you, Levi, for loving Tremors so much that like I got back into it, and now my daughters are watching it, and we're enjoying it together. So Tremors will get new fans from that, from family alone. Secondly, and this is so cool to me, and it ties back to the sincerity thing. So people don't want to watch Tremors in a theater for some reason. Actually, I do. So I do know the reason. People don't want to watch Tremors in a theater, but it took off on home video. Tremors does amazing on home video. Tremors 2 basically created the home VHS market as we
basically.
It is like one of the top selling like rentals.
There's a lot of stuff that
of all time.
People just don't want to be. I mean, it's kind of like some movies where it's like you want to wait for TV because, given the risque cover or the stupid premise, you don't want to be seen at the video store checking it out. Yeah.
Yes! Oh, you already... You're beating me to the punch. Yeah. And I've seen this where, like, people are weird. We're all very weird. Everybody's weird. Whether you're neurotypical, neurodivergent, fucking everything in between, red, blue, it doesn't matter. People don't want to be seen, like, watching that weird worm movie. However, watching it at home, in the where nobody's around, you get to no one's around, and I'm watching this movie with the giant worms, and like you get to be comfortable without like preconceived notions, and it is so cool to me to see more and more people discovering it. Wow,
it's been a delight. But anyway,
this has been great, Cam. Holy shit! Like I'm hot as hell, but I barely know. This has been awesome.
Totally.
Follow us on the web on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The podcast is available on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Apple, and anywhere else podcasts are available. Feel free to review our show and leave comments on any of those sites. Thanks a million for listening. It's a jacked up